Boots Ennis, what a great fight. You are a machine. Zayas, a little inexperienced, but you will be back. You're a great fighter. Let's make the biggest fight in boxing today. Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, let's go.
This is a great. I think it is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, that's why I think we're going to.
I just don't know if
that's a hell of a fight, though.
We gonna get the fight, though, man.
That's a hell of.
Right after Jaron Ennis knocked out Xander Zaz, Oscar de la Hoya wasted no time confronting him about what comes next. His message was simple. If you're the best, prove it by fighting Vergil Ortiz. With the challenge now out in the open and Eddie Hearn entering the conversation, the road to one of boxing's biggest fights may have just begun.
We need that fight, and boxing needs that fight. So we must make Boots against Ortiz. But realistically, will he do it next? We'll speak to DAZN and Oscar, and if they want to go.
After Boots stopped Xander, a lot of fans started talking about Crawford Fondora and what should come next. But Oscar made it clear that if Boots really wants a dangerous fight, then Vergil Ortiz is right there. And that changes the whole conversation because Vergil is not a soft next step. He is strong, aggressive, experienced, and exactly the kind of fighter who can turn Boots' confidence into a real test. He is not just congratulating Boots and moving on. He is asking if Ennis is really ready to fight someone who will not back up, someone who can punch with him, and someone who can make the fight uncomfortable from the first round.
That the man already told you, hey, it's time. You told us that's what was next. If you avoid that and don't do that, you're gonna lose a lot of respect from a lot of people. And I might be one of them. Cause you acted like
Vergil Ortiz.
You better believe it. You act like you was up for the challenge. Everybody knows that like Boots said, it's time for him. Everybody wants to see Boots against a real opponent. Vergil, you're a peak.
Hearn gave his take on Jaron Boots versus Vergil Ortiz, and his message was clear. He knows that the fight is huge, but he also knows Boots now has a bigger target in front of him. Hearn has already called Boots versus Vergil one of the best fights in American boxing because both men are dangerous, unbeaten, and in their prime. Vergil brings pressure, power, toughness, and that Mexican fighting style that can make any fight uncomfortable. Boots brings speed, angles, size, and the kind of confidence that makes him believe nobody at 154 can deal with him.
I've seen some comments online from Vergil Ortiz saying he would sleep Boots Ennis. Is what he wrote.
It's all very, Vergil's been out of the game for a long time. If Vergil really wants to fight Boots next, we'll definitely consider it. I think he's going to want a warm-up fight. He's not going to come back till September, October. He would have been out of the ring for a year. Boots will...
Are you saying you're open to doing that?
Yes,
September,
yeah, absolutely. Listen, I really rate Vergil. Vergil going into a Boots fight now, he'll get absolutely destroyed. I'm sorry. But he's been dropped before. Like, you don't realise that. I mean, Xander got hurt bad so many times tonight, but he's got a granite chin. I mean, he's so tough. But listen, Vergil's a great fighter, but Boots is, as he said...
After Boots stopped Xander Zaz and moved closer to becoming the man at 154, Hearn's focus shifted toward legacy. He made it clear that Boots wants belts, not just big names. That means Fondora and Undisputed may come before Vergil. Still, Hearn did not close the door. He knows Boots versus Vergil is too big to disappear. It may not be next, but the pressure for that fight is only going to get louder.
The type of fighter that needs a good fight like that in order to come out of his shell, is that maybe...
You won't see Boots in a bad fight for the rest of his career. He'll never want a voluntary defence. He wants big fights, big money, big belts, big moments. See that tonight? How's the body of work? Yeah? That's boxing, mate. Stick your garage up your ass, right? Stick your fake belts up your ass. Stick all this up your ass. That is real boxing. The best be the best. 16,000.
Vergil brings pressure and power, but Hearn clearly believes Boots has the speed, size, and skill to deal with him. And after the Xander performance, that debate is only getting louder.
Fight Vergil Ortiz. And going back to the comments, someone said, ask Vergil Ortiz if he'll take the fight next, because I don't think he will. And I'd be very surprised because, and by the way, I don't necessarily blame him because he has been out. When was the Lubin fight? I don't know. November last year. So, what are we now? 9 months, 8 months, 9 months. Time he gets in the ring again won't be till September, October. It'll be nearly a year since he's boxed. Are you going to go straight into Jaron Boots Ennis? If you are, let's talk. But realistically, I don't think you are. I think you're going to come back and you're going to go, oh, I want one more fight, and then, which is fine. And by the way, we're also not going to sit here and go, we're the champion now. Is a voluntary defence 15% for a voluntary defence? Like you've seen Haney and all these people do. It's like so boring. It's a massive fight. And I can't sit there and tell you that we shouldn't do that fight.
And Vergil Ortiz Jr. reacted to Boots Ennis's win, and he did not sound impressed or intimidated at all. He tweeted, "Yeah, I'm sleeping Jaron." That response instantly changed the tone of the conversation. While a lot of people were praising Boots for stopping Xander Zaz, Vergil looked at the same performance and saw a fighter he believes he can hurt. He was not saying it carefully either. He was basically saying if he gets in the ring, he is not just beating him, he is knocking him out. Boots Ennis answered Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s warning with full confidence. And he made it clear that he sees flaws in Vergil's game, too. After Vergil said he would sleep Jaron, Boots did not back down. He basically said Vergil has a lot of flaws, and if that fight happens, he believes he will beat him. That response showed that Ennis is not just hearing the talk. He is already studying the matchup and seeing openings he thinks he can expose.
So I just want to know your comments on those.
Why he ain't take the fight in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't be talking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to tell you, I'm really different. He gonna see firsthand. Cause he gets hurt a lot. He flat-footed and he been dropped multiple times. When he get hit by me, it's gonna be different.
That is what makes this fight so dangerous. Vergil believes Boots gets hit too much and can be hurt. But Boots believes Vergil is also open, hittable, and there to be broken down. So now both fighters are looking at each other like the other man is flawed. And when two punchers believe they can expose each other, the fight becomes even more explosive. Meanwhile, after winning the fight with Xander Zaz, Boots tweeted, "Thanking God for another one. I couldn't have done it without him. Another historic night in the books. I had a lot of fun. New York was lit. I appreciate everyone that popped out and supported. 36 KOs now, unified champ. 2-weight unified champ. 37 KOs coming soon. Road to undisputed." That tweet made his mindset clear. Boots was happy about the win, but he was not acting like this was the finish line. He thanked God, showed love to New York, celebrated becoming a unified champion, and then reminded everyone that the real goal is undisputed. That is why this win felt bigger than just beating Xander. Boots is already looking at the next step. Whether it is Vergil Ortiz, Fondora, or anyone else in front of him, he is moving like a fighter who believes every belt is there for him to take. And Robert Garcia gave his take on Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz, and he looked at it like one of the most dangerous fights that can be made at 154. Robert knows Vergil very well, so his view carries weight. He understands that Vergil is not just a puncher. He brings pressure, toughness, volume, and the kind of power that can change a fight with one clean shot. That is why he believes Boots would not be able to get careless the way he did in moments against Xander Zaz.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people that thought, oh, Boots could easily dominate Zayas, or he'll easily dominate Ortiz. Now they're gonna think, man, him against Ortiz is gonna be a war, a beautiful fight. So it brings more attention to the fans to push for this fight, promoters to work together and make this fight happen because of what Boots showed last night. You know, besides him also getting hit and getting tagged and maybe getting stunned and a couple of times, but he showed heart, he showed power. So that's one thing that people love, fans love. So I think that this performance makes the bigger fights against Ortiz or other big names even more.
Other big names make it even more interesting. But Robert also knows Boots is a serious problem. He has speed, size, angles, and now he feels stronger at the new weight, so this is not an easy fight for either man. Vergil would try to break Boots down with pressure, while Boots would try to use his movement, timing, and sharp counters to punish Vergil's openings.
Next, let's do that fight next. I know Vergil's already, everybody already knows, everybody already hears that things are looking good with Golden Boy, working things out. plan is to get Vergil before the end of the year. You know, let's make this fight happen. Let's do it, you know, because it's going to be a great fight. Vergil style, Boots, what Boots just did last night, it just tells the boxing world that it'll...
Boxing Ego looked at Boots' win and admitted he was impressive, but he also pointed out the dangerous moments. Boots got too comfortable, stayed in range, and gave Xander chances to land clean. Against Zaz, he could recover, reset, and still take control. But against Vergil Ortiz, those same openings could be a much bigger problem.
Ennis gets knocked out if he faces Vergil Ortiz. This is what Vergil Ortiz is saying after Jaron Ennis became a champion by defeating Unified.
Vergil is not just a fighter who touches you and lets you survive. He is heavy-handed, aggressive, and he throws with real bad intention. So, Boxing Ego's point is simple. If Boots gives Vergil the same chances, he might not just get caught. He could get seriously hurt.
Being him, to Jaron Ennis saying he would knock him out, Vergil Ortiz further stated, if I get him, meaning Boots, like that, I promise you I get him out of there. But notice he put if I get. Styles make fights, you know what I mean? Now, earlier in the day or week or whatever it was, he did pick Jaron Ennis by 4th round knockout, and he thought if Xander fights smart and moves, maybe he can frustrate Jaron, and then Jaron will win by a KO in the 10th. So he picked the right person. Now he believes that if he were to fight against Boots, that
Andre Ward knows this matchup has everything fans want. Vergil brings pressure, power, toughness, and that dangerous style where one clean shot can change the whole fight. Boots brings speed, size, sharp counters, angles, and the confidence of a fighter who believes he is ready for anybody at 154. That is why people are calling this a collision course. It is not just two names being thrown together. It is two rising stars who both look like they belong near the top. And that is what makes Ward's point important. Boxing cannot keep building big fights forever until the moment passes. Ortiz versus Ennis feels hot right now. The fans want it. The styles match and both fighters have something to prove. If Boots wants to show he is the next face of the division, Vergil is the kind of opponent who can prove it. If Vergil wants to show he is more than just power and pressure, Boots is the perfect test.
While Vergil Ortiz was doing his post-fight interview, and they went back and forth. And I don't know, normally when you see something like that, you walk away from the TV or wherever you're watching the fight, and you have a lot of confidence that that's going to be the next fight. Based on some of the things that were said, they're arguing about who started it and whose father did what. And then I heard Boots, you know, basically hypothetically say to Eddie Hearn, where's the paperwork? In other words, where's the contract? Let's sign the contract. So I don't know if he was just, if that's a hypothetical, he's just saying that, or the contract really hasn't been signed. But Roy, I don't know if that fight is going to be next, because after the fight, I hear you and I see.
Roy Jones Jr. knows Boots has the speed, angles, and skill to punish Vergil if he gets reckless. But he also knows Vergil has the pressure and power to hurt Boots if Ennis gets too comfortable. That is what makes the matchup so exciting. It is not an easy fight for either side, and one mistake could change everything.
The best option to make us, to let us figure out all the answers that we want to know about Boots Ennis. And you're gonna go say about Earl Spence and somebody else, we don't want to hear that. I definitely don't want to hear that. You told us on national TV after the fight that you wanted to do exactly what that man said. That man told you, well, that's what I want to see. I don't want to.
Meanwhile, Sean Porter spoke about Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz, and he looked at it like one of the best fights boxing can make right now. Sean knows Boots has the speed, size, angles, and skill to make Vergil pay if he comes forward too openly, but he also knows Vergil is not the type of fighter who lets you stay comfortable. Vergil brings pressure, power, and a physical style that can force Boots into a real fight.
Speed coming at him.
Both ways.
That's gonna. It's both ways, but I think it's the speed, the way that Boots uses his speed is different from the way that Ortiz. I think Ortiz has to call on his speed. You know what I mean by that?
No.
So what I mean by call on his speed, like, you have guys who are just fluidly boom, 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 boom. And then you got other guys like Ortiz, fights with a lot of power, but now I gotta pull back on this power and set you up with the speed. You know, like he has to be intentional and be selective with what he chooses to punch with. And on the other side, Boots is like water, man. He goes from the speed to the power. He goes from the left to the right.
The leverage.
He goes, he switch hits, you know.
Athletic, faster,
yeah.
just defense.
And Greg Hatchett knows Boots has the speed, angles, and sharpness to make Vergil miss and pay. But he also knows Vergil is not coming to play boxing from the outside. He is coming with pressure, power, and the kind of toughness that can test Boots every round. That is why Greg's reaction makes the fight feel even bigger. Boots may have more flash, but Vergil has the danger. And if Ennis gets too comfortable, Vergil can make him pay fast.
How's that version of Boots versus Vergil? How would that fight go?
That's the thing. I don't know, because I feel like you get different versions of Boots depending on who he's fighting. But I'm not gonna lie. If Vergil might have been able to do a little more if he got Boots buzzed like that. You know what I mean? Because he throw a tighter shot. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, because we gotta wait and see. That's some shit we gotta see.
And Vergil Ortiz was asked how much money it would take for him to fight Jaron Boots, and his answer made the matchup feel even more real. Vergil did not sound like a fighter looking for excuses. He knows Boots is dangerous, but he also knows this is the kind of fight that can change everything at 154. That is why the money question matters. Big fights do not just happen because fans want them. Both sides have to feel respected. The business has to make sense, and the risk has to match the reward. But Vergil's confidence is still clear. He believes he can hurt Boots. And after saying he would sleep Jaron, this fight now feels personal. So the question is not whether Vergil wants the challenge. The real question is whether the money, timing, and promoters can finally line up to make it happen.
To a certain extent, you don't want to fight no one for free or whatever, which it's not going to happen.
Right.
But I do think that people outprice themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Whether it's to duck or whether they feel like they deserve more genuinely or what, I really don't know. But
yeah, because people have value. You have value. I'm worth a certain amount. Is there a number that you would say, nah, that's too low? 2 million.
That's too low.
Too low.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just wanted to see, where you at. Has anybody ever outpriced themselves to fight you?
Not to my knowledge. No, I don't think so.
You really hands off with the business.
Yeah, I really am.
Well, at least he revealed a little bit, right? 2 million a fight, Boots is too low.
Yeah, and I think that's fair.
Right, yeah, I believe.
According to what you've already received.
Yes.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top, pound for pound, right now?
Boots Ennis also gave his take on Vergil Ortiz, and he did not sound worried about that matchup at all. Boots made it clear that he sees flaws in Vergil's style, and if they fight, he believes he will beat him. On his side, Vergil may have power, pressure, and toughness, but that does not mean he is unbeatable. Boots believes his speed, angles, movement, and timing would expose those openings. That is what makes this fight feel so dangerous. Vergil thinks he can hurt Boots, but Boots thinks Vergil is too open and too hittable. So, both fighters are looking at each other like the other man has mistakes waiting to be punished.
He's a unified champion, right?
Yeah.
He got a couple of belts. But Vergil Ortiz, he doesn't have a belt, but he has a name. Which one do you think would be a bigger fight?
Between who?
You and one of them. Vergil or Vergil or Fundora?
I feel like that kind of like even out. Because Fundora got the belt, but Vergil kind of like got somewhat of an E. But I feel like, then again, I don't know. I would say Fundora.
Then Boots Ennis spoke on the Ariel Helwani show and made it clear that the Vergil Ortiz fight was not something he avoided. Boots said he had already signed the contract to fight Vergil before, which changes the whole narrative. From his side, he was ready. The paperwork was done, and he had no problem taking that risk. So when people say Boots does not want Vergil, his answer is simple. He already agreed to the fight. That makes the matchup even more interesting. Now Vergil is talking like he can knock Boots out, but Boots is saying he already signed up for that challenge once. So if the fight did not happen, Ennis does not want the blame sitting on his side. His message is clear. If Vergil really wants it, make the fight again and he will be there.
They went back to you, you signed. You said you were in.
I signed like that.
In, no problems, no questions, nothing.
Nope.
they went back to Vergil. This is what he said. And they were like, we're going to do our fight, and then we're going to revisit this. Is that what you're hearing as well?
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. You know, that's understandable though. You know, you gotta stay on task with what's in front of you. You know, and not overlook nobody.
But you agreed before your fight.
Yeah, I did, but I still was locked in on Lima. You know, even when people was asking me about the Ortiz situation, I wouldn't even say nothing about it. I'd be like,
all right, everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Knockout today and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.